this is my first attempt at making this spicy chicken recipe. Sweet and it's spicy and it's good. It's kind of like P.F. Chang's chicken. And it's a really good option for takeout and it saves money and it's awesome. So I'm gonna show you the ingredients and I'm gonna start cooking. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this with you. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna get your rice cooking because that takes the longest. And you will be happy because you'll just set it and it'll be done. It's called Aroma. It's super easy. It just makes the meal come together without having to do like a million different things at the end. It all comes together right at the end. This will take about 45 minutes. And if you have somebody helping you, it can be like 35. But I'm just gonna show you how to prep it, what to do, like how to do, what order to do things in so that everything ends at the same time. So yeah, keep watching. So I said start the rice and I didn't start the rice. I usually do a 1-to-1 ratio, so a cup of rice to a cup of water. In this little aroma pot, you can really like guesstimate it. Like if you put in about 2 cups and then you put the water line so it goes up probably like I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so, then you know that the water will fill up the rice. Rice. These are my new bowls from Hearth and Hand with Magnolia. I love you, Joanna. So it's 2 cups. You turn it on. And you can use the white rice option or the flash rice. Flash works quickly. I would recommend just using the flash rice. Now it's time to prep the chicken. So I'm gonna get a cutting board out. So what's kind of funny about this video is this isn't actually my kitchen. This is my neighbor's. Her name's Gail. And I'm watching her dogs, and I walked into her house and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to film in this kitchen, it's so beautiful. All right, so we're just gonna open up the chicken like this. It's easier with scissors so that you don't have to touch it. It's just really gross if you touch it. That's not sharp. You're gonna chop it into like little square pieces, like about this size, kind of like chicken, like little nuggets. You're just going to do that to all the pieces. You can make them as small as you want, really. Alright, so now we have the chicken cut. Next we have to dust the chicken, so I'm in somebody else's kitchen, so forgive me while I look for a pie tin or something. And this chicken is going to be dusted in potato starch, which is an alternative to flour. You basically just eyeball, put as much as is needed to coat this. So you just start by throwing these in here. You don't need an egg or anything on this. And then as it starts piling up, just toss it lightly. And then just keep adding it. And if you need more, then you're just gonna add more potato starch, but you're just gonna give it a light tossing in the starch. Right now I'm turning on the pan and I'm putting in coconut oil, which is over here. I use Nature's Promise refined coconut oil. A really important thing is to get refined coconut oil. The virgin coconut oil has like a really coconutty, like tropical taste, and it doesn't go well with the chicken. So make sure that you get refined coconut oil. There's all different kinds of brands, but I just use this because it's at Wegmans. So you're gonna use about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Just, sometimes coconut oil can get tough to get out because hardens. So let me show you what that looks like, just because I like looking to see. So that's just sitting in there like that. So that's melting. This is prepping for the sauce. So this is for the chicken. This is for the sauce. Okay, I hope my phone keeps going. Right now I'm just moving the chicken that's already dusted over here. Because those are like prepped and ready to go. And then I'm gonna have to do the other ones. Okay, so I'm just gonna put more potato starch right on the chicken. Like this. Toss it real light. The pan right now is like sizzling, so the way you can test that is just going like this, and that's how it should look before they all go in. And be really careful if you have a lot of coconut oil in there, it can actually splash up if you put it all in at once. So be really careful about when or how much you're putting at a time. So I just go over like this and kind of pull away as I drop it. I've had lots of bacon oil burns in my life, and I don't want another one. That is just sitting in there just like this. It can actually sit there for a minute or two and just kind of fry. I guess it's like it's kind of like a little fry. All right, so I'm gonna toss this a little bit. Let me show you guys this. So now I'm gonna chop the garlic. I'm just gonna show you how I'm cutting this. So I usually just cut off the sides, and then it breaks. You can do a breaking point to pull off the skin. Girls at work, I always tell them that when I get stressed, I put my hair up in a bun. So Laura, Taylor, Kenzie, Emily, it's going up. Okay, so this is a lot of scallions. I would say you need about half of this. So that's 1, 3, 6. This is 8 to save some time. So I usually take about 4 at a time. I line them all up next to the root like that. I chop the ends off like that. Then I get the other ones, about 4 at a time. Chop off the root, send them off, and then all at the same time. So this part of the onion will be for the base of the sauce, so it'll give it a nice kick, and then the upper parts of it will actually be like a garnish on top. So I usually go up 2/3 of the way, and then I leave these for garnish. So again, these are the garnish. That's for the sauce. So all right, so I already have coconut oil in there, so the pan is just gonna look like this. Again, that was the refined coconut oil, not the virgin coconut oil, because it's too tropical tasting and it's super gross. Some people like it, like my friend Ryan liked it, but I don't. Coconut isn't for everybody. I do like coconut, but I don't like it in chicken. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my garlic and put that in. So step number 1 is the garlic, just like that. Step number 2 is going to be tossing the onions in. So I'm just going to grab all my green onions. And put them in like that. So they're just gonna sit in there for about a minute or so. The next step to this is this pineapple juice. I use this one, 100%, no added sugar. It still has a lot of sugar because it's a pineapple, but there's no added sugar. So right now I have my stuff sitting in there like that. It's been in there for about a minute. I'm gonna give it another 30 seconds or so. My rice is done. You can see that. And I totally understand, like, this is not something for making your kids every single night. This is basically like something that on a Friday night, like if you have some extra time and you don't want to spend 120 bucks on takeout with like 4 or 5 people, you can actually make this for much less, and it tastes really good, and it tastes just like takeout. So, all right, so now my onions are ready. So I'm gonna add about a cup of pineapple juice. Add that right in. It'll take the sizzling down a little bit. The next ingredient is chili garlic sauce. If you try to use like sriracha or something like that, it won't give it the right kick to it. So I would recommend getting a chili garlic sauce. I use this one. I just get it at Wegmans, but they have it at Giant. They have it everywhere. So you add 3 heaping tablespoons of this. If you want it extra spicy, you can do like 5. I do that sometimes to people, but normally I would go with 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna do like 3.5. So that's just gonna look like this. Just like that. Again, the chicken's over here. It's warm, but it's not cooking. So we do 2 tablespoons of the white vinegar and 1.5 to 2 of the coconut aminos. I use coconut aminos as a soy sauce alternative because soy sauce has gluten and soy, and I try to stay away from both. So I'm just gonna do that behind me. So that's just gonna boil there for a while. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prep my broccoli. You don't have to have broccoli, but I usually put broccoli on the side. Broccoli, scallions stay over there, go over there. So that's the broccoli. I still have a little bit more too. It all depends on how many people are eating with you, you know, like how much you really need for each person. Some people, if they're grain-free, they'll eat a bunch of broccoli and no rice. So you can make, yeah, depending on who you're cooking for, will determine how much broccoli you're making. The sauce is continuing to boil, which is a good sign. It should start to do that. I use coconut sugar instead of regular sugar because it's less refined. So this is the brand I use. We would probably only do 2 or 3 tablespoons of that. And again, you can as you do this, you can figure out what kind of consistency you want and what you don't want. Okay, so the next part of the sauce to thicken it up, it's already thickening, like the sugar will thicken it up, but what you do is you add about a tablespoon of potato starch. So it looks like that, and you put it right in, you sprinkle it in, because otherwise it'll like bulk up. So this is what it looks like. Boop. It just looks like that, and you sprinkle it in. I'm gonna add a little bit more, something like that. Okay, so this is what the sauce is starting to look like. It's starting to thicken up. It still has about another minute or 2 to go. Sometimes I like to add, like if I have extra scallions, I like to add just a little bit more, which I do. I have extra, so I just put in some green in there, a little bit more starch. And we're almost done. It's still going. So now I'm gonna turn my chicken back on. Actually, I'm not gonna turn the chicken back on. I'm gonna let this coast a little bit. This is gonna cook a little bit longer. And then I'm gonna put it on top of the chicken. But usually at this step, because I have all the broccoli chopped and everything, I start to cook the broccoli, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm bringing it to a friend's house and I don't want the broccoli to be cold, so I'm not gonna actually make my broccoli. Okay, so right now I'm just moving the chicken back. I'm gonna pick up the skillet, oh my gosh, and I'm gonna dump the sauce. So it's gonna look like this. Pepper flakes. Which I just use McCormick's. So put that in there, and then I mix that up. So yeah, I'm gonna show you a plate of what the chicken would look like after it's all done. I'll show you one more time what this looks like. You're just gonna grab your rice. I'm gonna do like rice like that. And then you just take the chicken. Oh gosh, I'm gonna put it right on top. Like that. So that's what it ends up looking like. So let's try it. All right, so it says no broccoli with it.